the Star Report, as Sherilyn mentioned, shocked the nation when it became available to the public on Friday. The report also has become a sort of a romance novel, drawing the curiosities of everyone across the nation and Sanford campus.
Students rushed to computer labs on Friday to access the report. Some did not let the report sway their opinions of the president, while others want to see Clinton punished.
I just think that it's really just his business and it's his family, and I don't think that everyone should be, all the information that's come out and everything, I just don't think that it's anyone else's business really. I mean, it's his own personal life, so.
I think that the nation needs to forgive him. I certainly don't think that this calls for impeachment. But
I think that it really has affected his presidency because new information came out that she knew who he was on the phone to, what he was talking about. So it's not only involving his personal life, it's involving, how good of a job he does as being president and confidentiality that not everyone should know about.
Basically, when I found out he had lied, he perjured himself. And he's trying to get all this forgiveness. Please forgive me. Yeah, as Christians we can forgive him, but he did break the law. He perjured himself. If a regular person did that, he would be in jail.
Those students in suspense to see what happens to the president will have to wait a few weeks. Congressional officials say the House will vote for a formal impeachment inquiry. Sanford welcomes another new addition, this time in the Beeson Woods community. Residents may be having a hard time finding a place to park, but if they are looking for a place to hang out with friends, they're in luck. Construction of the Beeson Woods Community Room is already underway. Workers have been renovating the bottom floor of Rosa Hall for more than 2 weeks and are currently putting the finishing touches on the room. The community room will not open campus-wide until early next year, but residents of Beeson Woods will be able to attend various functions in the room sometime this fall. Beeson Woods Area Coordinator John Denton hopes that the addition of the community room will help bring Sanford students closer together.
Currently, especially in Beeson Woods, there's not really an area for males and females to just sit, talk, study. So this will provide an opportunity for that to take place.
The community room will offer a variety of entertainment for Sanford students to enjoy. The room will hold a pool table, a ping pong table, and a TV area.
While students enjoy this fall's new additions to the campus, they might overlook something that is missing from the Sanford tradition. Sanford's beloved Sherman Oak was cut down this summer. The campus landmark's legacy will go on. These pieces of the tree were stored in a parking lot behind Smith Hall until last week. The pieces were then taken to Nolan Lumber in Tuscaloosa. The lumber company is preparing the wood for future use. Although Sanford has not said exactly what those plans are, a spokeswoman for university relations says some of the possibilities include making the wood available to alumni and encasing the wood for display in the university.
Thanks, Sherilyn.
Looking forward to it. Well, students looking forward to hosting a show on WVSU have been waiting patiently for weeks while the station tries to iron out some technical difficulties.
Our own Carrie Oldfield went to the station, and here's what she found.
WVSU has undergone several major changes over the past few years. The station now offers a modern environment where students can sharpen their radio skills. However, this fall the station is missing one vital resource: students.
Many of you Sanford students have been wondering why you haven't been able to get on the air here at WVSU. We decided to go talk to Berkeley Fraser and find out why.
Our system has had four 9 gigahertz drives that handle all of the music and the promos and the voice drops that we've talked about. About 3 weeks ago, just as school was starting back, one of those drives went down. So all of our work since June 18th is gone. So we are in the process now of replacing all of the music that was lost, all of the promos, all of the voice drops that were lost. And we've got another 2 weeks to try to get back to where we were.
Students are anxious to get back on the air and say the computer crash is cutting in on valuable experience.
It gave me a lot of interviewing skills and it gave me a sense of responsibility about what you can and cannot say on the air, and you learn a lot about the radio business by working in a real radio station.
Well, there's really no point in having the station on the air if you don't put students on the air as well. So of course it should be done ASAP, but it should also be done well.
Not only is Fraser working to improve the quality of the educational experience at WVSU, He is also working on an application to the FCC for a license to increase the signal strength of the station. Fraser hopes it won't be long before students can return to the air.
I would ask everybody's patience for another week or two until we get the computer problem settled in. And then at that point, we'll put on the bulletin boards, and maybe hopefully the Crimson will do a story. We'll get the word out. Then anybody that's interested, we'll set up interview times, and then we'll set up audition times, and see who wants to do what.
For Inside Sanford, this is Carrie Oldfield.
Students interested in getting involved with WVSU should contact Berkeley Fraser at 870-2877.
Well, Sanford is $15,000. That's how much it's going to cost to repair the Wright Center orchestra pit that was damaged during a concert by the Newsboys. The damage was caused after too many students were allowed to go on the stage with the band. However, the main problem with the pit was the result of years of pipe corrosion and a leak in the hydraulic line. Crews have been working for almost a week to repair the damage. Wright Center events coordinator Marshall Croy says the pit should be working soon.
We're anticipating approximately a week. They started Wednesday of this week and are anticipated to be finished by Wednesday of this coming week, which would fall right in line with having it done in time for the homecoming event.
Take 6 is currently scheduled to perform on the soon-to-be repaired Wright Center stage Friday night at 8 to kick off the weekend's homecoming festivities. The Sanford Theater opens its first production of the season to the tune of an Irish jig.
Inside Sanford's Jessica Griffin has the story.
No, it's not Riverdance, it's Translations, the play which opened Sanford Theater's 76th season. The play is set in Ireland in 1833 against a backdrop of conflict between the Irish and the British.
The whole play is being translated from Irish into English. That's the whole premise, because the British are in here and they're changing our culture. They're trying to change our culture into English, and it's a whole about how to deal with that and how the changing affects every different character in the show.
Actors had to spend their summer learning Irish and British accents.
Spent a lot of work on dialect, and then also just researching the character a little bit. Read a couple books about the history of Ireland and a little bit on the history of the British Army.
Stephen Zacharias is able to use life as a Sanford freshman as inspiration for his role as a British officer.
It's all about an outsider trying to come in and fit in. You know, it's great for me because I'm an entering freshman, so I just come here, I'm trying to fit in. This character's doing the same thing.
Cast members are hoping Translations will send a strong message to the audience.
When you come away, that you realize there isn't a culture that's better than the other. I mean, there's third world countries, there's first world countries, there's all kinds of different countries, but each culture is special in its own way.
For Inside Sanford, I'm Jessica Griffin.
And you can catch the final performance of Translations today at 4 o'clock in Harrison Theater.
Many families filled the campus last weekend for Sanford's annual Family Weekend.
Families were entertained with activities including a tailgate party, which was followed by the Sanford football game. We caught up with some of the parents at the tailgate party to hear what they had to say about this year's Family Weekend.
Well, it took us about 2 hours to clean up his dorm room, and just to meet a few of his friends.
Met a lot of friends, a lot of great friends.
Seems like we're eating our way through the weekend. And so we're just here, and with our son Mike Workman over there hiding from the crowd, and he needs to be over here. So Mike's a senior, and so this is really first time we've been down in 2 years.
The weekend wrapped up Sunday with a coffeehouse breakfast and a worship service. Now take a glance at what's going on this weekend at homecoming.
Well, thanks for that quick update there, Sherilyn. That was interesting stuff. We got to look forward to that. But first, we're going to start off our story. The words campus safety usually bring up thoughts of parking tickets and bicycles.
But campus safety is trying to change that image. Our Jessica Griffin has the story.
Campus Safety is working to bridge the gap between the badge and the student ID.
You know, it's not campus safety against students. It's we're together and for a safer campus. You know, a lot of people think that campus safety are against them, and that's the furthest from the truth. I mean, we can only maintain a good, safe campus with a combined effort. You know, faculty, staff, and campus safety. We all got to work as one unit.
Dialing 2020 gives you access to many security services you might not be aware of. For example, a nighttime security escort service.
If they have a genuine fear of their safety or they're concerned about walking to a certain area, they can call campus safety wherever they may be on campus, and we'll come to their location and just escort them to wherever location they want to go to on campus.
Chief Hope cautions students against feeling too safe.
There's always a possibility that something could happen. You know, even though Sanford enjoys a relatively low crime rate, and you will want people to get so complacent that they feel that they're totally invulnerable to anything happening. You know, we want them to be safety minded. It's good that they feel safe, but somewhere in the back of their mind they need to understand that it could happen.
Safety at Sanford is a two-way street, one with very large speed bumps. For Inside Sanford, I'm Jessica Griffin.
The Sanford webpage will have a site for campus security, and Chief Hope says the website will continue to improve the relationship between students and security. Also, last weekend, students and alumni joined together to celebrate Homecoming 98.
The events began Thursday with a float building, and then Friday night they had a bonfire, a pep rally, and a concert by the group Take 6. On Saturday, homecoming participants enjoyed a barbecue lunch in the CAF before heading over to Seibert Stadium. That's where they watched the Bulldogs defeat the University of Tennessee at Martin in the annual homecoming game. Look at those people, all right. Some Bulldog fans not yet ready for competition on the field played their games at the Carnival House and Bashinsky Field House. The festivities ended with the Bulldog Ball Saturday night and a worship service on Sunday. Alumni enjoyed reliving their Sanford memories.
So it's good to get back and just see people like him that I haven't seen in a long time and just kind of share old memories and hang out.
And here was the moment everyone was waiting for, the crowning of the 1998 homecoming king and queen. This year, Scott Stake and Susan Courts joined Sanford's own royal family as the reigning king and queen. Well, an increase in enrollment has put a different school on Sanford's campus near the top. The School of Education has earned the title of the second largest school on campus, just falling short of the School of Arts and Sciences. We talked to Dr. Jean-Ann Box, Associate Dean of the School of Education, to get her reaction to the enrollment increase.
We have 96% of our graduates are employed the past 2 years, and so we like to think that, just the reputation and the word of mouth that has, certainly spread and caused us to have a little bit of an increase.
The enrollment in the School of Education has increased approximately 100 students since the last year.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Sanford students don't really get to know Dr. Courts outside the Sanford gates.
Sure don't, but we got to speak to him yesterday and found out he has a special interest in collecting some special books. Well known for centuries, 4-H books are not that prominent in today's libraries as they were in the 17th and 1800s. But President Courts has several in his personal library. 4-edging a book is the process of painting on the edge of the pages, thus the name. It started with the writing of the title on the opposite side of the binding rather than the front cover, and progressed into painting.
They would have, in these big estates, they would have an artist or two in residence, and after they painted all the family and painted the dogs and the horses and so forth, they didn't have anything to do in those cold winter months, so they would have them decorate the edges of the book. And it became quite a fine art.
President Courts has 14 of these art forms among his private collection of autobiographies and antique volumes. Introduced to him through a friend in North Carolina in the 1970s, Courts has acquired most of them from his trips to England. If you want to see copies of the 4-H books for yourself, don't take our word for it. There are several in the Special Collections Department of the Sanford Library.
All right.
Yeah, we got to see some of those books, and they are really interesting. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. That was really nice. We enjoyed spending time with them.
Speaking of fall, are you having a hard time getting into the fall spirit? Are you looking for a way to ditch that annoying tag-along? Or are you just plain bored and looking for a new place to go? Haddon and I took a short day trip last week, and we can supply the answer to all of these questions.
It all began after last week's show.
See you next week. Have a great week.
Hey guys, guess what?
What's up?
The new story assignments are in.
So where are we going this week?
Yeah. The Maze of Maze.
In Blount County?
Yeah.
Blount County, where the heck is that?
I'll show you. Let's go. We got on I-65 North and went to Blount County, home of the infamous cornfield maze.
Shortly after arriving, we were greeted by none other than the maze's designer and corn cop, Daniel Hufstetler. He told us how the idea of a cornfield maze made it to Alabama.
When I was going to college, there was a roommate of mine who was doing a maze in Utah, and I helped him do that one. I worked with him, and we did the maze out there. And then he wanted me to work for him this summer and this fall doing a maze in Colorado. But I just figured that if I was going to do one, that I would come home and do one here.
Well, we're here at the big maze, and it looks like a lot of corn, so we're gonna, that was not a pun, by the way. We're gonna head on out and hope we don't get lost.
I know, I really hope we don't either, because this corn looks a little scary. I'm thinking children of the corn right now.
Yeah, we'll make sure that doesn't happen, but we better get going.
All right, Haddon, we made it.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't take us too long.
No, it didn't take too long. I had a lot of fun, though.
I did, too.
A little worn out, but I had a lot.
Reporting from the maze for Inside Sanford, I'm Amanda Backus.
And I'm Haddon Smith. Now, the Maze of Maze is open on Monday through Friday from 2 in the afternoon until 10 at night, and until 11 at night on Saturdays, until the end of the month.
To get there, it's about 45 minutes north. You just take I-65 north to exit 284, then go east on Highway 160 for about 12 miles, and then finally take a right onto County Road 13, and the maze will be about 2 miles down on your right. You can't miss it. For the first time in history, the Alabama Shakespeare Festival has come to Sanford. Inside Sanford's Jessica Griffin has the details.
The Alabama Shakespeare Festival made its way to Sanford, transforming the quad into a place right out of the history books. Beginning the festival was a performance of Taming of the Shrew in Harrison Theater. The day continues with Renaissance fashion shows, concerts, and juggling lessons, entertaining people of all ages.
Most Sanford students learn about the Renaissance in books and out of classrooms, but Dr. Hiles hopes the festival will bring Renaissance history to life.
I'm hoping that people won't be so afraid of Shakespeare and that they will not be afraid of drama, too. I'd like to draw some people to the theater who haven't come to it before.
Students participated in an improv group, giving crowds a taste of Renaissance acting.
During the Renaissance period, there were acting troupes that were improvisation. There were traveling troupes that would improv things, mostly comedy, which is what we do.
Well, parting is such sweet sorrow. For Inside Sanford, I'm Jessica Griffin.
Now, this is the first time in 10 years that the Alabama Shakespeare Festival has toured, but Hiles is planning on making this an annual event.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Well, while several people went from house to house Saturday night to fill their yearly candy quota, Sanford offered students a few treats of its own in the food court.
A variety of dancing queens and spooky things haunted the central campus while enjoying free food, drinks, and prizes. Trent McCool provided music for the party, allowing students to kick it up and try out the Batusi. We got the chance to ask a few partygoers about their favorite Halloween memories.
My mom, when you addressed me as trash,
How'd you do that?
like I want to be Batman, but my brother was like Robin. But she put me outside. She took me out the trash can and pinned like all kinds of trash all over me. Like I had like an Aunt Jemima necklace and.
We went to the haunted house.
Is she scared?
Yes, she is. Very scared of them.
How old is she?
She's about 2.
Wow, well, that certainly was some funny stuff.
Alabama voters rolled the dice last Tuesday as they elected Don Siegelman as the new governor of Alabama. A large portion of Siegelman's campaign centered around a proposed education lottery similar to the one in Georgia. Siegelman plans to use the lottery for college scholarships, a pre-kindergarten program, and public school computers. However, some Alabamians are not willing to take the chance with the state lottery. We spoke to some Sanford students to see what they think of the lottery proposal.
Georgia, where there is a little higher up, a little more industrious, and more
$500 more money.
I see the positive in it because it provides education and money for kids that haven't had money, but also I don't really know how to feel about lottery.
Well, I think that in the past, the rest of the states have used lottery to speak for itself. You know, people need money and people need lottery because education is funded by such things like this. I mean,
the lottery still has a few hurdles to overcome. It needs the approval of legislators as well as voters before it can be enacted.
Well, first this morning, the year 2000 is just around the corner, and with it could come some major problems. Because of the uncertainty of what could come, certain institutions are preparing for Y2K.
Inside Sanford, Scarlett Little has more.
402 days and counting. That's exactly how long we have until the year 2000. And what comes with that simple turn of the calendar is unknown.
I think that probably one of the biggest problems about the year 2000 issue is that there is no one who can give you a conclusive answer as to what is going to happen. There is no one who can give that to you.
For humans, the time change is like any other. But for computers, the new millennium brings a problem. That's because there's a bug on their date records that could mess things up on January 1st, year 2000.
So is Sanford prepared for what could come?
When the average person reads about it, he doesn't think that it's much of a problem. It's kind of simple, just add a couple of digits. But everything's got to be reprogrammed to accommodate that, and we're working hard on it. We think we'll be ahead of schedule. Hopefully by the end of next year, we'll be in good shape.
But they're not taking the could-be crisis lying down. The university started preparing for Y2K last year by contracting the consulting firm.
Some of the critical vendors, for example, would be Marriott Food Service. They've given assurance that they are compliant. Conversations will continue to take place with critical vendors of the university, though, to try to assure that they are still on track.
The department has already found out that some services are not compliant, like energy management, but the computer glitch could hit closer to home, like not being able to obtain water.
There are pumps at different places throughout the distribution system for water. Some of those are probably controlled by microprocessors. So what if there are 10 of those in a particular area and 8 are compliant and 2 are not? Well, if you happen to be in an area where one of those pumps is controlled by a computer that is not compliant, you may have a problem.
Even with these possibilities, some Sanford students say they are not as concerned about the crisis.
I'm not necessarily worried about it personally, but I think there are problems in the country because of it, and a lot of people will be affected who have debt so far, and people who have bills and the interest on those bills.
I think that people are taking the issue to the extreme, and I think that everything will be okay if people don't panic.
For those concerned about Y2K, Sanford offers an informational webpage as well as links to other pages about the government's efforts in resolving the problems. For Inside Sanford, I'm Scarlett Little.
That have occurred.
Now, to find out more on the Y2K problem, you can go to Sanford's webpage and click on Computer Services.
10 women will grace the stage at the Wright Center Friday night for the 51st annual Miss Sanford pageant, but only one will walk away with the coveted title of Miss Sanford 1999. Many assume that this is a competition based solely on good looks. However, the contestants see the pageant as much more than a beauty contest.
I see it more than a beauty pageant, especially with the interview. That's great experience out in the real world, gives you great interview skills, and also it builds self-confidence being out on stage.
If I were a contestant in Miss Sanford, I would probably be most concerned with poise and posture. We spoke to some of this year's contestants to see what they are focusing on.
The interview is really important because that's the first impression that they get of you, and they see you as a person and how you interact with people.
I'm doing a ballet dance on Point, so I've been working really hard on that.
While we know only one of these hard-working girls will prevail, remember all will be winners because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. For Inside Sanford, I'm Bethany Lane.
Well, we're back. Haddon, step sing went well this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people walked away with a smile on their face. Very happy people out there. So let's take a look at more entertainment news. Well, the 1998 step sing competition has finally come to a close. Here's entertainment reporter Melanie McCoy with a look at Saturday night's results.
This year's 1998 Step Sing Sweepstakes champion are the ladies of Alpha Delta Pi.
That's right, the girls of 80 Pi were this year's big winners. Their show entitled The Magic of Winter not only won the coveted Sweepstakes Award, it also took first place in the women's division. Well, the women may have been hot, but the men refused to be left out in the cold. Sigma Chi walked away with a smile on their face after placing first in the men's division and winning the Participants' Choice Award for their Ode to the Dumped Road to Recovery performance. As for the mixed division, Sanford Student Ministry danced away with first place for their show, Friends Forever. We asked a few of this year's winners to share with us their secrets of success. Here's what they had to say.
What we like to do is we get in the chat room and listen to Appetite for Destruction before we go out and get us all pumped up. So that's kind of a tradition we've been doing lately. So we do that tonight. Hope it works.
Yeah, we do things that pump us up right before the show, get us excited about it, make it a sweepstakes kind of show.
So to sum up this year's step sing, we learned that while it may not be cold outside, winter is still in season. If you're going to participate in the mixed division, go with a friend. And that Sigma Chi's do prefer boxers over briefs. For the Channel 37 News Entertainment Report, I'm Melanie McCoy.
Alpha Delta Pi's victory Saturday marks the 6th time that the sorority has won the Sweepstakes Award. In other music news, the 40th annual Grammy Awards are ready to be presented this year's Best Musical Artist. The Grammy nominations are on tonight on CBS at 7. That's Channel 22 if you're watching on campus. Be on the lookout for Paula Cole. Her album, This Fire, has 7 Grammy nominations, and it's a pretty good bet that she's going to walk away from the ceremonies tonight with some Grammy gold. And a look at local news. Have you seen this all-too-familiar face recently? Hello, me lovelies. I need a job. That's right, one of Birmingham's most popular DJs, Luca, burst into tears Monday as she was unexpectedly fired along with her producer, Nikki Stewart, who was also a DJ for WRAX. General Manager Dave Rossi has taken her place as the morning show DJ until a replacement is found for her. Let's now take a look at this week's top 5 grossing movies.
He got involved with that whole East Coast, West Coast thing, and being that he is from Chicago, they both banged on him.
So maybe we can go out for coffee sometime.
All right, yeah. Maybe we could just get together and eat a bunch of caramels.
Oh, this is beautiful. It's hard to believe we have a typhoon 1,000 feet above our heads.
Sure that you're in the middle of a nervous breakdown?
Whoopity-doo! I'm the king of the world!
Welcome to Sanford's award-winning newscast, bringing you up-to-the-minute weekly forecast with Matthew Porter, the latest scores and highlights in sports from Amanda Backus, today's entertainment review with Haddon Smith, and news from around the campus, community, and nation with your anchors Scarlett Little and Nathan Lott. This is Channel 37 News.
Welcome to this week's entertainment report. Well, spring break may just be a few weeks away, but if you're anything like me, you're probably in need of some vacation time right now. Well, here are a few places you might want to check next time you decide to escape the bubble. Studying gotten the best of you? Well, then maybe it's time to close the books and hit the open road. Birmingham offers a variety of late-night entertainment spots just waiting for students to come and visit. For those of you seeking a casual getaway, look no further than O. Henry's. Located in Homewood, this coffee shop provides the perfect atmosphere for a nice chat with some friends or just a quiet cup of coffee.
Thursday night's really louder time, but I think being rainy like it is tonight is keeping people at home, which is more powerful for me.
If a late-night retreat is what you need, try Monier's Deli. Monier's is a great place to take a twilight hiatus since they're open till 1 in the morning on weekdays.
It's a place to go late at night if you need something to eat, and you don't have to worry about getting kicked out. It's not too expensive. It's pretty good food. So.
Students looking to get rid of some excess energy may want to try the Studio. One of 5 Point's most popular clubs, the Studio is a terrific place for students to relax and enjoy a night on the town. So if you need food, folks, or fun, don't look for the arches, but open your eyes to what the Magic City has to offer. For the Channel 37 News Entertainment Report, I'm Haddon Smith. Now, if you do plan on going to the Studio, don't forget to bring your driver's license. A valid ID is required to get in.